Timothy, I had an email from Heatcraft. It's been about a year, so I don't think they're gonna go through with anything, but they wanted to work together. I'm assuming they kind of ghosted me because maybe they saw some of my videos, so we'll see if they see this one. I have been having issues with Intelligen, but I would love to work with you guys still if you guys want to hit me up and help me solve these problems. We need to solve or figure out how to properly diagnose this, because I did not get answers over the phone when I was talking to whoever I was talking to from Heatcraft. And yeah, how do we know if it's the board or the valve? I was chasing my tail last time, and this is probably the third faulty board. It's only 2 to 3 months old. I don't know. Like I said, I did have a couple of videos where I showed issues I had, and maybe that's why they kind of didn't reply anymore. All right, welcome back, guys. We got another Intelligen down. So, got a walk-in freezer that we put in. It was February, right before I went to AHR. It is now the beginning of May, right as May started. It went down. One of our guys went to check it. He thought it was low on charge. He wasn't sure. Did a few checks. I'm gonna go check it right now as well, as some parts came in. So it could be low on charge, but I don't think so. We did not have any issues up until now. Most likely, just from experience, we're probably having an issue with the valve, and I think he got the error at the end too. So I think he got an error that said bad valve or something like that, which the only valve on it is a EEV, electronic expansion valve, which on these is a 2-in-1. So it's a solenoid pump down valve, and it's an expansion valve. So it has like 50 steps or so many steps, so it can electronically, dial in pretty precise on whatever it needs to be open or closed, however many steps it needs to do that to. And it can close completely and then pump down the unit when it's off or in defrost or something like that. So the bad thing is, when you have issues with that valve, which from what I understand, nobody really has issues with them, but essentially you got two issues. Is you can't run the unit, because I've seen them either all the way open or all the way closed. You can't run the unit, or you can't stop it from running when you have an issue with the EEV. But basically the board is what controls everything. This is all controlled by the board. There's nothing really mechanical on this whatsoever. So I had them send out, because it's under warranty, like I said, it's only a few months old or a couple months old. I had them send, based on my experience, because I was chasing my tail last time thinking it was the valve, and I think I even got the error too that it was a valve, telling me it was a valve when it was actually the board. So yeah, I did the test mode, because that's the only real thing you can do is run a test mode, and then the board's gonna spit back at you like, hey, everything's working, we tested everything. And you can see it cycling through everything. But when it comes to cooling mode, it's not sending the signal, I'm assuming, because on the last one, I replaced the valve and everything, and it still was doing the same thing. Or it did it opposite, right? Because whenever it failed, it got stuck, I think closed, and I think the valves come, when you buy them new, they come already open. If not, I have it backwards. But so one time it was stuck closed when it failed, and it wouldn't run. And then when I put in the other one, if I remember correctly, and they're open when they're new, then it was never shutting off. I thought I had fixed it because it ran, but then it never shut off for defrost. So then I changed the board on a whim, just on a hunch, and then it worked. So it was the signals from the board. So here, before I go through the trouble of changing the valve, I told them, send me the board too, because I've had bad boards before. So let's see, is it the board again? Is it the valve? A lot of techs will say that the valves never give out, so Based on my experience, maybe that is true. And we have another bad board, so we'll see. All right, so here's our beauty. We might still have power. Let me go look for that real quick. All right, found the breaker, got everything off. We're gonna first do the board that's back there. So here we got everything I asked for. Here's our valve assembly kit. And that should be the board. Oh, look at all that corrosion. Still, I'm gonna be suspicious of this board. That don't look good. Looks like I got an updated board or something. The only thing is this bag was already open, so hopefully nothing was messed with. Old one, a lot of the little like resistors and stuff have all that green stuff all over it. That battery doesn't look good either. And then here's the new one, so it's a blue one. So let's put this one in. So fairly simple, but still take pictures, make sure you know where the wires go. And take those before pictures, put that one or the new one on there, the new part, whatever you're putting in, and then double check on your pictures, make sure everything's wired correctly. Like I said, this one's easy because all the connectors are different, basically. But either way, you don't want to mix up anything like these over here, or some wires backwards. So let's just put the new one in already. All right, so when we turn it on, I want to see if we have pressure. I want to see if we have pressure right now also. And then I'm gonna go turn everything back on, see what it does. Well, that's not a good sign, right? Everything all shiny right here. Can't tell if it's from one of these. I also have something over here. And then this right here looks real suspect. Alright, so I was like, man, my display never came on. So I'm checking supply. Our supply's right there. 197. But coming out of the transformer, 0. More problems, more money, right? Let me see if I have one of these. And so all I have is this kind of cheap universal one. I don't really use these a lot. That's all I had left. So it's like I said, universal. So we're gonna hook up to common and white. So we're gonna use the white for sure. And then we're dealing with 208 here. So then red, that's gonna be our line side. These two are just gonna get capped off or cut or something. And then I'm gonna go in with these just so that we can reuse the same connectors, not have to rewire anything on the unit itself in case they want to send a transformer out. But right now, I just want to get that board on so we can see if we have any further issues. They make that bottom screw really hard to get to, but we got the tools for it. Damn, that felt like the longest screw ever. But yeah, Klein ratchet. Fits almost anywhere, and you can put any little bit you want in there. All right, just trying to get it to make sure nothing shorts out, rubs out, and I'm gonna turn it on. I just need to see if this thing works or not. There we go. Okay, let's see if I can remember how to start this up. Okay, just wanted to set this up. Make sure we do have quite a bit of pressure. Freezer. Tenth 240. Okay, hard to click. Cooling. Fuck. Jesus Christ. Alright, so I came up real quick. We do have a bad fuse, which, I don't know, man. It's an old building. Let's see. And I wonder if that's been replaced before. Well, let me get another one. All right, so fuse in there. This is a new condenser, so I'm just hoping that it at least starts for now. And it did. All right, so we pumped down, but it does say off. If it said cooling and I got an alarm, then I'd be a little bit worried about that EEV, but I'm gonna give it, I don't know if it's like a 4-minute safety, and we'll see if it fixes itself or I'll just kind of reset this. And you can kind of see the steps there, and then it just jumped. It was at 0. I was trying to show that it was pumped down, but that's 255 steps. I had said 50 something, but it's 255 different levels to that EEV. So it's calling, I think. Delay, okay. Pressure it. Let's see what this is like. Okay, it's slowly open. There we go. All right, just packed up to go. I'm gonna let it run. I can't afford to stay there anymore. It's 4:30. I got other calls to get to. Unfortunately, if it was the last call, I probably would have stayed there till 5, and I still have an hour drive back. So I got to drive an hour and then get to my next call. So Yeah, we were getting into the 20s. It's dropping. The temp looked good. I was reading the back of the box by the return, so we have a good temperature reading there. It's probably colder in the front. The pressures looked fine. Sight glass was clearing up. The EEV was doing its job, you know, stepping up and down, kind of modulating it, and was sweating back to the compressor really nice. Like, everything was going well. Electrical looked good. I didn't see anything funny with the volts or amps. Nothing jumped out at me. Now, they did have, or we all had here in the valley, some power outages, severe thunderstorms, a lot of crazy weather. And I want to say that's when they called it in. So they've been waiting a few days for the parts to come in, because they buy their own equipment. So then they kind of had to claim it under warranty and get all that sent out. I left them with the box. I did not use the EEV, the valve, or the coil. So it was just the board. And to give you guys context, I did not go troubleshoot this, or I wasn't the one that found it like this. So one of our guys went and checked it. He said it never wanted to come on, but the display was on. So the display was on, and it was giving him bad valve error. I can't remember what exactly what it says, but it's basically telling you that the valve is not working. Now, in my experience, I'm going to change out the board first, because I've done it the other way, where I'm going crazy doing all this work for the valve when it's not the valve, it's actually the board. So just a pointer, I guess, for you guys that come across the IntelliGen. The board is a little more sensitive than the other components, and it controls everything. So if the board is not sending out the proper signals at the proper times when it's in cooling, and then it also monitors, so it's also like, hey, my valve is, even though it's the reason the valve is not working, it's going to tell you the valve is not working, the valve is bad, when in actuality it's, you know, that the board is not doing its job either. So, you know, once you once I saw that it was a valve, and he also thought it was low on pressure, but I was like, your valve's probably closed or something. So I didn't see any leaks. I didn't get any hits on the leak detector. I would rather do a follow-up, let it run, and then so I can go do my calls, because either way it's going to take time to drop from 80 degrees. So I'm going to let it run. We're going to come back, do a follow-up. I don't mind coming out here, even though I don't want to, an hour away, but they're a really good customer of ours. I just want to get this thing going, get them the freezer working, and I just want to make sure nothing weird was happening. So we'll see. I'll come follow up. I didn't have any leaks. This is the one that I did the press couplings on the evaporator. No leaks whatsoever. I didn't get a hit. Like I said, everything looked fine. Charge-wise, pressure-wise, I had liquid through the sight glass. All my temperatures looked good. Kind of skimmed through the settings of the, like when you go into monitor. On those, you can see what the EEV is doing. It'll tell you what the pressures are. It'll tell you what the temperatures are, and everything looked fine. Like I said, I'm not sure if it was something with the power outages or issues that we were having here locally, because like I don't have any pictures. I didn't take any video or pictures, but we had a lot of high winds, bad storms, a lot of trees, and I can see some right now are uprooted. So they're huge ass trees that got knocked over. The roots are all ripped out. A lot of power lines are hanging off to the sides. There was a road that was completely down where I was at, because all the power lines fell in the road. A lot of street lights are missing because they flew off, and they're still getting to all that stuff. But like I said, I don't know what happened, because when my guy came and checked it, it was trying to run. It was just like the valve was stuck. So he had power to the display, he had power to the board and everything. But when I came, because all we were waiting for was parts, when I came, nothing was on. And he was like, I should have turned off the breaker. I'm pretty sure it was off. And I was like, no, I already checked that. When I went to the breaker box, the breaker was on. I turned it off so I could work on it. And you guys saw that I checked for voltage real quick, and we had voltage before I even started. And so then at that point, I don't know if somebody messed with it after the fact, or you know, if he forgot and he left it on, and maybe the compressor tried to turn on, because it's pressure the condenser is not controlled by the controller. It's controlled only by pressure. So if that thing has pressure, that condenser is going to try and run. So I don't know if something happened from it trying to run, not working, or if somebody flipped on the breaker or kind of messed with it and messed it up. So when he left, he had the 24 volts. I don't know what happened between then and now. So we had the bad transformer, the bad board, and I think that was it. Oh, the fuse gave out. But like I said, nothing right now is jumping out at me. So I'm gonna get out of here. I'll come back, make sure everything's working, and kind of just run the test again, check for leaks again, check voltage and amperage again, and if it's running, it's running. There's not much I can do with that board. Could have been giving us some weird issues. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this was helpful. If Hvacr sees this, like, I need answers. So I'll try and get in touch with them, because this is like the third board we've had issues with, and not only myself. There's another company like three or 4 hours away that it's the same account, but we don't cover that area. So then they were complaining about the same thing, that they were there all day and they couldn't figure out why the freezer wasn't working. And I'm pretty sure it was a board too. So we'll get to the bottom of this. We're doing a lot of these intelligent, so I just want to get on top of it, make sure what's going on, how I can diagnose or make sure. But for now, I'm just gonna assume it's a board every time, because it's already been that like 3 times. So, and the boards look different, so I don't know if it was a used one from a different unit, a different kind of unit, or are these the same? Maybe just that the display faceplate is different. Maybe the boards are similar to some other styles or brands or models. So I don't know. I never worked on like the beacon systems or anything like that, so I can't tell myself. But maybe the board is either from a different system, a model, or they updated something, they changed something. Maybe the new boards are better. So I don't know. It was blue. It looked exactly the same. It's just a different color, and it looked a little different on the actual like circuits. So we'll see how it does. I don't know if it's just a safe bet at this point to keep a board, like an extra board on stock, but those are like $700-800 boards, and I don't know if I want to carry one just to carry one. We'll see. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I gotta go, so I'll see you guys.